Well, it is bright and early and a beautiful day. It looks like it's going to be a high of 75, I think. And we finally got some rain last night. It's supposed to pop back up this week into the 90s. So I've got a lot of mowing that I need to do. I need to jump on the tractor and get that done to kind of trim out. I think it's probably going to be the last time we're going to have to mow this year. And then I've got a lot of trimming and things like that to do before it gets too hot. The dogs are outside playing in their new dog run, and they've been out there for quite some time now. I'm having my coffee. Tomorrow is the first day of my youngest senior year, so I've been yelling at her to get out of bed for the last hour. So hopefully she is. It's a little windy, which is really nice. And so I thought I'd sit down and do a couple questions and answers that y'all have sent me. I haven't seen the questions yet. My husband wrote them down before he left on his trip yesterday. And so I just thought I'd do this really quick while I'm having my coffee. And the cat is outside and probably looking for birds because she can hear the birds outside. So we'll see. The wind is picking up. Hopefully we'll survive it. We did have a storm yesterday. We finally got some rain. So we live in an odd area. We are between, I think, what's called the Palmer Divide and I-70. Again, an hour southeast of Denver. And we either get really, really heavy weather or we don't get anything. It's really odd. So we had thunderstorms all last week, but we got no rain. And so yesterday when we were dropping, hey, stop. When we were dropping my husband off to where he needed to go for his business trip, we were on our way back and we realized that there's a storm that's hitting our house, and we left all the windows open. Thankfully, there was no damage. There was not too much water that got inside. So my daughter's bed, I think, it butts up to the window. So I think she got a little bit of wet blankets, but we did get some rain. So it was really nice. Thankfully. Okay, let's start. Who is your I can't read my husband's writing. Who is your favorite YouTuber to follow? Oh gosh, I have a lot. Uh One of the when I first got into YouTube, it's probably been about 2 years, 2 or 3 years, probably about 3 years since we've been here in this house. And we axed out cable. We have streaming services, but we don't do anything other than that. And I don't watch a whole lot of TV anymore. I've got a couple shows that I watch, but for the most part, it's, I'm always doing something around here. But I absolutely love, there's a handful that I do. The first one that I love that's kind of started all of this is Good Simple Living. It is a family, Jeremy and Melissa Souza, who live in North Idaho, which is kind of my old stomping ground, the Pacific Northwest. And they started theirs about 5 years ago. I think actually it's a little longer, but they started building their home and they did it all themselves for the most part. It is a stunning home, stunning, stunning property. And it just is a beautiful channel. I look forward to their video every week. Saturday mornings is kind of my thing where I get up, I have my coffee. My husband usually does the morning chores, and then I just sit down and watch their video. And I just absolutely enjoy it. They've just got they're the way that they film their videos. They're the sweetest couple. They've got a beautiful family. They just had their fifth child. And I just absolutely adore them. The other one that I watch is Acre Homestead I think she is out of Southwest Washington. Her name is Becky, same name. She is probably the best gardener I've seen. She's got a beautiful garden and she always gives really good tips on growing. She's really relatable. She's friendly. She's funny. And they are expecting, I think, their second child. So super neat to watch them and get those little tips from them. More Than Farmers, I think they're out of Ohio. There goes the camera with this wind. They are incredible when it comes to trying to do your own homestead, trying to navigate, the food market and all of that in this day and age. And they're wonderful. There's another one that's super cute, Calico Cow Acres. They're, I think, in one of the Carolinas, and they are just adorable, and it's really super neat to watch them as well. So I get a lot of tips from people that I watch on YouTube on gardening and all that, because I am not a gardener. Like I said before, I'm not a cook, so I'm learning all of this kind of, on the fly, new, whatnot. um the meaning of your YouTube name. So I don't know if anyone is of my generation. There, I don't know if you know Bob Vila, fantastic home builder. He used to have this old TV show, and it used to air on, I think, PBS when I was growing up in California. Um, I used to watch him. I used to watch Emeril Lagasse's old, not old, sorry, Emeril, um, instructional videos on cooking. Yan Can Cook with Martin Yan, fantastic show. But these were all when I was, in my early teens, and I used to watch these shows religiously. And it's funny now, coming into this next stage in my life, my daughter calls me old, ancient, you don't know anything, that typical thing. And so I thought, I'm just going to call it This Old Kitchen. The house was built in 1983. It has not been remodeled. It has not been redone. Everything needs to be done on it. So that's a part of the thing that we're going to be going through as we progress in these videos. The kitchen is an electric kitchen. Like I said, nothing's been done. So it's an old kitchen. And so I thought that might be funny just to kind of call it This Old Kitchen. So that's where that came from. I hate the word and I don't hate many things. Let's see. You said your mom passed a while ago. What did she leave you with? My mom passed, what I think has almost been 10 years now, going on almost 10 years. My father has been gone quite some time. My sister has been gone quite some time. My aunts and my uncles have been gone quite some time. So I am one of the oldest nieces and nephews that are left. And so one of the hardest things that I've had to deal with, in going into this next stage of my life, not only with this new venture, but also the things that go with this age: menopause, empty nesting, your kids leaving your home, all these little things that you really rely on someone to be there for you and to have those questions, or have those answers for those questions that you have. I unfortunately don't have that. I have a really strong community of friends that I grew up with. I still am friends with one of my very best friends, sweetest, dearest persons in my life, that I've been friends with since the fourth grade. We are still friends. I've got another friend through her that I met, that we've been friends since, I think, seventh or eighth grade. Two friends that I've been friends with since that age. And the four of us are still very much in touch with each other. Not as often. They all live in California. But when you have those people that you grew up with, that you have in your life, that you cherish, they're the kind that you pick up the phone and say, hey, and it's like you haven't had any time apart. I'm going to get emotional because I adore them and I miss them. But I rely on them when I have questions. They're in the same position. One of them, I think, still has her mom, luckily, and she is the sweetest woman in the whole world. But not having that and realizing that your mortality is it I mean, you're not guaranteed tomorrow. And so coming to that next stage in your life and realizing that you don't have it, you want to kind of leave something. I want to leave this for my children. I want to leave it for my daughters. So in the unfortunate event that I am no longer here, they have that and they can go back and say, like I've said before, what did mom do with this, or what did mom do that? So one of the things that my mom did leave me with is always making sure that if your kitchen is moving, you're always going to have food. Now, we all go through those highs and lows where we've got an abundance of ingredients. We've got maybe a little extra money. We go and we stock up on things and so forth. And so I've changed my household where I'm not a product household, I'm an ingredient household. And so everything that we have in our house are ingredients and things that you need to make. And so if you're constantly keeping your kitchen moving and you're constantly, making something, you're always going to have food. Flour and learning how to bake has been huge for me. I never considered myself a baker. And so to know that I can go and make a batch of bagels that, we'll have breakfast for the next however long, to bulk batch or bulk make planes, uh, things like that, is amazing. Getting off topic. So my mom always did say, keep your kitchen moving. And my mom, I loved her. I love her dearly. I still talk to her, but she was not a good cook. My brothers will attest to that. I do have two brothers who live in California. I have two nieces who are starting their lives in California. And, but they will all attest to the fact that my mother could not cook. So she left me with that. She also left me with the fact that when you moisturize your face and your neck, moisturize the back of your hands, because then they won't age. Little things like that I will kind of pop in every now and then as I remember them. A part of menopause is you do get what's called menobrain, fogginess, and you forget things. And so those things kind of come back to me on occasion. But anyway, crazy. Do you talk to your pets, and what do you have? Yes, I talk to my pets. I have two cats. I have two dogs. I have three horses. Um, the dogs are Rufus, who is my husband's dog, Rossi, who is my daughter's dog. Bluebell is our 7-year-old or 8-year-old red dun. She was a gift from my father-in-law to our daughter when she was 13 or 14. She rides her. We have Kichi and Wea, who we adopted a couple years ago. They are just about to turn 20. They're just pastor buddies. We have kit, 6 chickens. The chickens we started out with about 12. I think it was 12. And I used to let them free range, and predators getting into the horse pen, things happened. And so we're down to 6. I'm not sure if I'm going to get more. I think we're probably going to wait about a year just to kind of see what happens, just because we don't really need that many eggs. So we'll see. I will probably end up getting more, but who knows. And yes, I do talk to them. I yell at them. I talk to them like they're my children, because they are. They're my family. They're my babies. They're spoiled rotten. They all get snacks. They all like it's unruly on what and how these animals are spoiled. So, and my husband will laugh at me whenever I'm yelling at them. Let's see. Are you nervous about people judging you when they see your videos? No. My daughter and I had a conversation the other day, and she asked me, she says, Mom, how do you know when you love yourself? And though it's a complex question, there's a lot that goes into that question. But I think the main thing is that you don't put a lot of weight in what other people say. You're courteous to people, you love people, you treat them the way that you want to be treated, but if you're lucky enough, like I've been, and you have those friends that you grow up with, and they're still in your life, and they're still a part of your life, and they're still a poignant person in your life, that's fantastic. But trying to tell her and explain to her, a lot of the people that she's coming encounter and has in her life, they're either there for a season or a reason. And a lot of times it's mostly a season. And they're not going to be there as you grow up. And as you grow up, you're going to learn, and they're going to give you, and you're going to give and take, and so forth. But no, I don't. I'm 54 years old. I encourage criticism. I encourage compliments. I encourage comments. I love that. I feed on that. But it doesn't hold a lot of weight when it's something that's negative. And so I think knowing that about yourself and really truly loving who you are, I'm still a growth. I'm still, learning. I'm still growing. I'm still a human. And so I don't put a lot of weight in negativity. I don't think negativity is something that we need in this day and age. I think that we need more love. I think that we need more understanding. I think that we need to give each other more grace. And so, no, I don't take any of that to heart. And if you want to be the type of person that, says something negative, that's okay. Be who you are. So those are the questions that he wrote down from you guys. If you have more, please feel free to comment, email me, send something on my Facebook page, on my Instagram page. I'm learning TikTok, what we'll see. And I'm starting to get chilly because the wind's blowing, and that's unusual. So yay fall. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I got to get out, get on that tractor, and get this lawn taken care of for the rest of the season. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Get outside, get some sunshine, and smile. Bye.